there was a raid going on in Houston, Texas.
It may be connected to a high-profile case.
That's her best friend. She would not be there.
Hey guys, and welcome to J is for Justice. I am your host, Jay, and I have Dre with me as well.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited and super honored to be a part of this. Jay and I have worked so hard for this live, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We apologize for the delay in bringing you this live. We have put tons of hours of work into creating this visual timeline in the case by taking everything that we've seen, maybe some things that we haven't seen, and putting them together for you. So I want to welcome everyone in chat. Thank you moderators for being here. If you could please keep any disrespectful comments to a minimum, that would be greatly appreciated. And please be kind to one another. I know that this is a very emotional case, and a lot of us have our own opinions, thoughts, and all I ask is that you keep the comments below this video respectful, and that you're respectful with each other in chat. Basically, agree to disagree and treat this case like you would any other true crime case that we cover here on J is for Justice. So for the next 24 hours, you're going to see a visual timeline from when Chris and Shanann were born up until today. I hope also that you will join us for the Netflix party in Patreon on Wednesday, September 30th, when the documentary is released. It is $1 to join my Patreon. Also, at the conclusion of this video, there will be 3 full videos loaded into Patreon with brand new information in this case. I hope that you will consider subscribing, and I also hope that everyone understands why those things cannot be put on YouTube. With everything that's been going on with this Netflix documentary, I felt that it was in my best interest to load those into Patreon at this time. So I hope you enjoy. We have put our hearts and souls into this, and also into this new information that we have. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. And again, thank you for being here. And I want to give a very, very special thanks to Dre and Pancake. Without them, none of this would have been possible. So I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for all of their hard work and all of their perseverance. I love you guys. Shanann Catherine Ruchek was born on January 10, 1984 in Passaic County, New Jersey. Shanann's parents' names are Frank Ruchek and Sandra Sandy Ruchek. She has a brother named Frankie William Ruchek. Shanann is described as having a very close relationship with her brother Frankie. When Shanann was a little girl, her family moved from New Jersey to Aberdeen, North Carolina, which is where she grew up. She attended Pinecrest High School in Southern Pines Township. There was an interview on the Ashley Banfield show where one of Shanann's teachers had called, and he gave an account of a bullied Shanann who didn't have a lot of friends. I'm not sure why that is, because she seems to have a very outgoing personality from what we could see. Nonetheless, Shanann, as she graduated high school and moved on into her adult life, she wrote that teacher a letter, and he had still saved it. And he shared what was in that letter. And one of the things that was in there was that She told him at that time in her life, he was more of a father figure to her than her own father. Now, I don't know what was going on in their lives at that point in time, but that is the account of her school teacher. Shanann became Shanann King when she was married to Leonard King from 2002 until 2008. Leonard King was a student and in the military at the time he was married to Shanann. He later became a lawyer and is now remarried, and interestingly enough, his wife was selling Thrive under Shanann. According to Leonard King, they divorced because Shanann spent too much time at work and they drifted apart. According to Shanann in later videos on Facebook, she stated that her first marriage was volatile, abusive. She said that after she got out of the marriage, she felt down about herself and she had very low self-esteem. They did try marriage counseling. However, he stated it was very hard to get Shanann to open up in those sessions. They ultimately divorced, and single Shanann Ruchek had built her own home in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shanann was working for a business called Dirty South Customs at that time. She started out as the office manager, and somehow at the end of her career with Dirty South, ended up as owner, as listed as part owner with Hisham Bedwan. There is also a lawsuit against Dirty South Customs and Shanann King and Hisham Bedwan. I did not see those full documents, so I don't know the ins and outs of that lawsuit. However, the snippet front page had her listed as co-owner with Hisham. One day, Chris Watts sent Shanann a friend request. She immediately denied it. She was not in any place to friend any men, so she did decline that friend request. Well, Chris was pretty persistent, so he sent another. And she was at a point in her life where she was facing some health challenges. She was going to doctor to find out why she felt so crummy. She didn't feel like going out anymore. Her friends were getting concerned. Then that concern turned to just no contact because she wasn't doing anything anymore. She wasn't feeling well. She was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia a year later. When she met Chris, she was going through a lot of testing, and she stated that he went to these tests with her. And it seems like Chris was committed to her before he was actually committed to her. Shanann stated also that when she first met Chris, he was not her type. But when they drove home from the doctor, and she said that she put her head in his lap on the way home when she wasn't feeling well, was when she fell in love with Chris. So after 2 years of dating, Chris and Shanann got married on November 3rd, 2012. Shortly after the wedding, Shanann and Chris moved to Frederick, Colorado. And that was when they decided to build their first home. Chris, being a mechanic by trade, got a job at a Ford dealership, Longmont Ford. Shanann quit her job at the Ford dealership and moved on to the Children's Hospital in Aurora, where she worked in the call center. Shanann was pregnant with Bella when she was working at the hospital. And in December of 2013, on the 17th, Bella Marie Watts was welcomed to the world. In June of 2015, the Watts ended up filing for bankruptcy, with apparently less than $10 in their account and a whopping $448,000 in debt. That included what was owed on their mortgage and unsecured debt of credit cards. Much of it was from their wedding and medical bills for Shanann and the girls. Their second baby, Celeste Catherine C.C. Watts, was born on July 17th of 2015. Shanann's second pregnancy with C.C. was kind of a hard one. She said it was worsened by her lupus, and Shanann's parents, Sandy and Frank, lived with her and Chris for 15 months to help her out.
Shanann became involved in the multi-level marketing company Thrive. Thrive is a product that is made by a company called Lavelle. It consists of patches, capsules, shakes, bars, in order to live a quote-unquote healthy lifestyle and lose weight, have tons of energy. Shanann's friend Christina was the one that got Shanann involved in selling Thrive. And Shanann seemed to excel and be very successful. She had a new Lexus. She went on a ton of trips. She even ended up on the cover of a publication of Lavelle. And there was a picture of her seemingly perfect family right on the front. But their financial situation didn't get any better over time, because in July of 2018, their homeowners association filed a lawsuit against them for $1,533. It was reported that Shanann said she had been sending the homeowners association checks to the incorrect address. Their court date was set for August the 24th of 2018. And they obviously would not make it to that court date.
Christopher Lee Watts was born on May 16, 1985, to Cindy and Ronald Watts in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The Watts family lived in a modest little country town called Spring Lake, which is very close to Fort Bragg and home to the 82nd Airborne. He grew up in a family-oriented Christian Baptist home. On a regular basis, the family attended church services at the First Baptist Church in Spring Lake. Chris was a shy, loving, quiet, and well-behaved child. He was the second born and only son. Chris and his sister Jamie were very close siblings. He was also pretty close to his parents and his grandmother. Almost every day after school, he would go to his grandmother's house to play. His most memorable thing about his grandmother was that she would cook lunch for him, which was different types of German dishes. As a child, his favorite thing was cars. He loved playing with Matchbox cars and watching NASCAR. It was noted Chris and his father Ronnie attended many NASCAR races. He was also very active in sports from the age of 5. In school, Chris was a very smart student and active in basketball, football, and baseball. With Chris being an introvert and shy, he didn't have many girlfriends in high school. He kept his circle very small. It was noted he had 2 best friends throughout his childhood years he is still close to this day. His mother described him as the perfect teenager that never rebelled. He never got into fights, never partied, never really got in trouble. Chris graduated from Pine Forest High School in May of 2003. He placed 3rd at the North Carolina Automobile Dealers Association competition in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He was awarded a scholarship of $1,000. After high school, he moved to Mooresville, North Carolina, which is about 2 hours from Spring Lake. Chris attended the NASCAR Technical Institute and received a certificate after 72 weeks. It was his dream to be a part of a professional pit crew. He loved the art of working on vehicles, and at one point he purchased his own tools and toolbox. Once he graduated, he worked at Mooresville Ford, where he was a service technician. Sometime in February of 2010, Chris meets Shanann on Facebook. At first, Shanann was very leery of a relationship with Chris. However, the pair dated for a while and eventually married on November 3, 2012. By some accounts, Chris and Shanann moved to Colorado to help Shanann with her lupus and for the pair to have a fresh start. Chris and Shanann worked at a Ford dealership in Longmont, Colorado. She was a saleswoman and Chris was a service technician. In 2015, Shanann left the dealership and started a new job at the Children's Hospital where she worked at the front office. Eventually, in that same year, Chris began a new career with Anadarko Petroleum Corporation, which is now called Occidental Petroleum. With a baby and a toddler, a newly built home, and decent income, life for the Watts seemed to be pretty ideal. However, not everything is picture perfect behind
Guess what, girls? Mommy has a baby in her belly. Are you guys excited? Yes? Are you really excited? Oh my goodness. Come give me hugs. Oh! I love you, girl.
I got the baby a hug.
You want to give the baby a hug? I love you, Bella. You're so sweet. Give me a kiss.
Mommy! Mommy!
Yes, baby.
We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
Time with our families and friends and everything else, and then we're gonna come back August 7th, and then I fly to Scottsdale, Arizona on the 11th for a mini little retreat with my team, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. What are you doing? This child does not sit still ever. Look at this. Bella, say hi. Bella, say hi. And I really love the fact that careful, Cece, there's a table there. Child. Yeah, day in the life with Cece. And just feel blessed that we can do that. We can travel the world. One day Chris can travel that long with us. But just to be the time freedom with my family, my kids, to enjoy them and not have to worry, you know? I used to not be able to take time off for vacations because all my time off was because my kids were sick. And when the kids are sick, that's priority over vacation. Now I can do both. I can take time off. Well, I don't have to take time off from anything because I do everything from my cell phone. Good morning, Sarah. I need to come back to Canada to see you. Chris needs to come with us, so we'll find out where you are in Canada and we'll come see you. But the time freedom. I feel really blessed to have Cece. It's just a dog. I feel really blessed to have the time freedom to enjoy my kids and still travel with them and have time off. Because I don't have to take time off from anything. I love what I do. Like, every single day, like, I don't consider it work because I literally, truly love helping people feel better and changing lives and making, giving someone some, their happy back, their mom back, their mood support, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't mind my hair. I don't even know what's going on with it today. Whatever you're doing, like, I truly don't consider it work because I love what I do. And if you love what you do, it's not work. It's, you have fun. Like, yesterday, my day consisted of meeting with a new promoter. We met for breakfast. Then I met with another one of my friends who promotes with Lavelle for lunch, and we kind of hung out and worked a little bit. And then we had a play date last night with the kids. Mom and I worked. We chatted, and while the kids played, the dads hung out. And it's just fun. Like, that's fun. I want to be able to bring my kids to work and enjoy them. And, while they're having fun and having a play date, mommy can do what mommy loves to do. Watch them and help people. So that's how simple this is. I fit my business into my day. I fit it into my schedule. I can listen to calls while I give my kids a bath. It's just... I love the time freedom. And if you are a Lavelle brand promoter and what is your favorite part? Do you love the time freedom that we have? Like, the joy of being able to enjoy your family, take care of whatever it is that you enjoy to do every day, and squeeze in making a phone call and helping someone feel better. Like, that's what I truly enjoy. I love the time freedom. Just watch, like, sitting here, like, I'm doing a live because I'm doing a live, but I'm watching my kids have fun. Like, look, hi, beautiful. They're sitting there playing with Daddy, with jewelry, because that's what they love. But yeah, so it's the time freedom. The time freedom. It's funny because I helped a friend yesterday who super skeptical. And she messaged me and she said, Shanann, I want to tell you something. And I was like, what? She was like, I'm so sorry. And I said, what are you sorry for? She said, because I gave you a hard time. I judged you. I thought you were just doing something, just whatever. And she has been able to enjoy her children the last week and a half in a way that she hasn't in the last 5 years. And to me, that brought me to tears with her, because we're not promised tomorrow, We're not promised anything, but to be able to enjoy our children and every crazy moment, it can be super crazy. I'm not gonna lie, my kids are crazy, but I love them, and I love the fact that I can be there for them. Bella knows that mommy doesn't go into work, so when mommy leaves the house without them, it's foreign to her. We go everywhere together, and we do everything together, and that's what she's used to, and just creating that legacy, like things that you want to be the example. You don't want to tell your kids what to do. You want to show them. And I feel like I'm able to show them how to be strong, how to work hard, how to be confident. I'm by far a confident person, but I'm more confident than I've ever been in my life. And I want to be able to show that to my girls. Like, Bella walks around very shy. She has a mixture of myself and Chris in her. Like, she's an introvert, but she's also branching out of her shell a lot sooner than I ever did in my life. And so seeing her do that, seeing her come out, the teacher's telling me how she's doing in school, like, she's grown so much in school and at home. And I truly love that about her. I love that, she's becoming more confident. Cece's definitely confident. That child is fearless, has confidence through the roof. She has that side of me when it comes to being willing to just go after whatever you want. She definitely gets that from me. But the thing is Bella starts doing things now that I do. She imitates me on a daily basis. She imitates her teachers. She imitates people that inspire her. And it just, you got to show your children what you are preaching. Like, don't just preach it, you have to show them. And I want to be that person that shows my kids. Shh, no yelling, can you?
My spot.
We'll get a new spot. Dieter's on that spot. Say hi to everybody.
My spot.
It's just Dieter. Don't be. You sit right there.
Mommy.
Okay, Cece. Shh.
My spot.
Dieter, get down. Okay, see, Dieter's down. Don't steal Cece's food or her spot because she'll let you know. Right, Cece? Right?
Daddy.
She is a hot mess. A hot mess. So, be nice, Cece. So, but I would love snuggling with her, but she never sits still longer than 2 seconds. Like, literally, she's already getting down. She kicks Dieter off and then gets back in my spot. Leaves me. So, he's not getting up here, Dieter. So yeah, you guys, like, you have to take a leap of faith in yourself. No matter what it is in life, like, take that leap of faith and know that you can do whatever you want to do. And love what you do. Be happy with what you do. No matter what you do. I mean, if you're a teacher and you love teaching, teach. And teach your butt off. Like, no matter what it is, you just have to love what you do. And I love what I do. I love it. I love the time freedom at the end of the day. So I'm kind of rambling. I don't even know if I'm making any sense at all. But that right there is why I will continue what I do. I will continue fighting. I will continue not letting the haters get in my way. I will continue not letting people discourage me. I will continue not letting people judge me or what I do. I will continue not letting people influence my decisions on what I do in life. I will continue fighting for my children, for my husband, for myself. And nobody's going to hold me back from my future, my kids' future. No one's going to tell me what's the right way of living life, and no one's going to tell me what's what I should and shouldn't do for a job. Like, if I'm bringing in income and I'm taking care of my family, I'm being a better mom than I've ever been because I am here. And I don't discourage anyone who does go into work. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying do what you love and be a badass at it. Excuse my French. If you're on here and your kids are watching, I'm sorry. My kids didn't hear me, so good thing. But you just gotta do it. Like, you have to be strong. You have to be confident. You have to be you, at the end of the day. You're welcome, Lynn. I love you guys. I love you, Mandy, Natasha. But if you're on here and if you're a thriver and on here and confidence, if you've gained so much more confidence than you had before, raise your hand. Like, put a comment below, show the hearts. If you've become more confident with Lavelle, or not even Lavelle, Lavelle, because it's not just the product, it's the community of people we surround ourselves with. Like, I'm gonna go outside. It's gonna be 80 degrees today. So, I I've become more confident because of the people I'm surrounding myself with. It's amazing what the littlest things can do, like in life. Like when you surround yourself with people who are just negative, not happy with life, which I get it, I've been there, I've done that. But I'm choosing, even on my worst days, to not let the negativity bring me down. Because at the end of the day, I mean, when I was negative and I lived and breathed negativity, it showed on my family, it showed on my children, it showed on myself. It shows, like, it really truly shows. So you have to, what I do now is, and again, don't get me wrong, I have my bad days, I have my off days, we all do, we're human, right? But on those days, I choose to do something that will bring me up, whether it's reading a book, or reading a quote, or reading something, finding something positive to read, because I'm choosing to be better in life, and I choose happiness, I choose drama-free life. I want a drama-free life. Oh my gosh, Colorado makes me feel like it's drama-free life, because Colorado is just amazing, absolutely amazing. Sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel at peace here in Colorado, and everyone wonders why we moved to Colorado, because I do. I feel at peace here. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to describe it. I just feel at home, if that makes sense at all. So I don't know if I am helping anyone today. Comment something. I feel like I'm rambling, I'm not making sense, but I felt like I needed to share today, share from my heart. I never make sense. Sometimes I feel like I ramble. That's my insecurity coming in. It's my confidence trying to attack me. But I feel like I can relate to somebody, and somebody can relate to me and feel the same, you know? I was never the smartest kid on the block. I worked my tail off to fight through school. I was not a book, like Chris is a book smart person. He reads something one time and he's like, it's memorized. Me, on the other hand, I was the one staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning studying and still struggling. I'm a horrible test taker. Horrible test taker. I can know all the answers, but put that test in front of me and I bomb it, or I struggle. And I've always struggled, you know, through school. I've always, a lot of things, like insecurities, all of it played, I think it played a huge role in my everything. So, but then the thing about me that is different than just different about me is I've never given up. A lot of you know part of my story, my health challenges, bad relationships, things that could have knocked somebody down completely hardcore. But the thing is I believe that everything in life happens for a reason, and I also believe people are placed in our life for a reason. And I remember when I went through something major in my life, good relationship, gone bad, and I remember coming out feeling the weakest I've ever felt in my life. Like I was no good, I wasn't good enough. My insecurities got deeper, stronger, and I felt like I was not worthy of anything. And I remember a friend, and I'm going to give her a shout out because I met her through a job, Amber Matthews, or that's what her name, yeah, Amber Matthews now. Her name was Amber Matthews. Sorry, Amber. Sorry, Chad. But we're not close, like super close right now, but we're still friends. And when we met, I remember she took me for my first pedicure. She took me to buy clothes. We were going clothes shopping, and I was putting on shirts that were 2 times bigger than what I needed. And she was like, that is way too big for you. I'm like, no, it's not. It's perfect. And she's like, no, Shanann, it doesn't. And she helped me regain confidence that I didn't know I even had. She helped me find me. And, you know, through that, I've met so many people in my life that have helped me through all of that, helped me build my confidence, helped me. You just have to surround yourself with people that want better for you, just like they do for themselves. And if you do that, like, you're on top. Like, you're on top of the world when you have people that you surround yourself with that make you better. Like, they don't bring the bad out of you, they bring the good out of you. And from that point on, I fought like hell. I worked my tail off. I busted my butt. I was never a big dreamer, so to think, because my insecurities brought me down. But I remember when I was single for a long time, and my goal was to buy a house. I was tired of paying someone else's mortgage because, you know, that's what you do when you rent. And I wanted to buy a house. And I wanted to buy a house that I could resell one day and make a profit off of. And so I worked and worked and worked and worked. I lost a lot of friends because a lot of my friends were still young. We were still young. And I was 25 years old when I built my first house. My family doesn't come from money. We always worked hard for what we had. And I did. I bought my first house at 25 years old. And that was the biggest accomplishment I felt I've ever done because I did it by myself. I did it by working my tail off for it. And I had that to show for it, you know? And then I met Chris. My health challenges happened. I was diagnosed with some health challenges, and then I met Chris. I met Chris because of those health challenges. My friend sent me a friend suggestion for him. It was actually his cousin's wife, and I deleted it. I was like, I'm not interested. I don't want to meet a guy. Bye-bye. So I deleted her friend suggestion for him. I was diagnosed 2 months later, and I went through one of the, I would say, darkest times of my life because things just got scarier, worse. I thought my life was crumbling underneath me, and I didn't know which way to turn. I didn't have a lot of friends at the time because a lot of my friends, the friends I did have, I lost because they didn't understand that I looked perfectly fine, and I felt horribly inside. Horribly. I felt a lot of discomforts, a lot of aches, a lot of bad moods. I met a lot of friends online, and in the part where I gave up on everything, I quit my job. It was kind of temporarily, but kind of quit my job of 9 years. I just said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You don't understand me. You don't understand what's going on in my life. And I quit. And I got a friend request from Chris. I was in a really, really, really bad place. And I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. And I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except, well, one thing led to another. And 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado. And he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. And because of my health challenges, because I got so sick, I let him in. And he only knew me at that time. He knew me at my worst, and he accepted me. And, you know, through your vows, like through sickness and everything, he's been there. He was the one that let me lay on him and fall asleep for 3.5 hours on his lap while he had to pee. He is the best thing that has ever happened to me. So with that being said, know that no matter what, and I can go on forever with this story, but I want to cut it short so I don't bore you guys. Know that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how low you feel, know that deep down, like in your heart, that there's a purpose, there's a reason for everything. We may not understand it at the time. It's hard to understand it at the time. I'm telling you, when I met Chris, I pushed him away. I gave every excuse for him to run. I mean, I gave him an out every single day. I gave him an out. And if you guys know my story with Chris, you know I gave him an out. I mean, he went to my colonoscopy. I tortured him. I rejected him. I pushed him away time and time and time again. But when I canceled dates last minute, because that's how life is with my health challenges, you cancel things last minute, and it's hard for people to get, it's hard for me to understand. But he stuck around, and he stuck around because he was the one for me, and he is amazing, and I can't tell you how wonderful he is. But on top of all of that, when I got sick, I reached out to support groups online, and I built relationships with so many people that have similar health challenges or the same, and we've built a relationship stronger than some of the relationships I've known for over 20 years, some of them that I've known over my whole life. And these people are in my life for a reason. I met these people for a reason, and Mandy Aikman is the one who introduced me to Thrive, and I would never be where I'm at right now without her. And so all of this comes from all of this positivity that I'm sharing. My 2 children are because of all of this. Like, all of this. My health challenges happened for a reason. I was told I couldn't have kids, you know, and here I have 2 amazing, crazy, wild children I love dearly. And everything happens for a reason. So if you're at a place where you feel, Dieter, you feel like life's standing on top of you and attacking you, write down, this is homework for everyone, and I do this all the time because I have to life happens. So write down all the things that you think are bad in your life, all the negative in your life, write it down. But then I want you to also, on the other side of the paper, write down what has happened in your life that you're grateful for. The third step is take a pen and mark over, like, connect the 2 things that happened. So, for instance, health challenges, Chris, Mandy, life, right? I can write that I can connect that life health challenge to Mandy. I can connect it to Chris, and I can connect it to everything else that happened because of my health challenges. So do you see what I'm trying to do here? Like, I want you to connect the negatives with the positives in your life. And when you look at that, life becomes so much brighter. Like, so much brighter when you can do that. So, you know, sometimes we have to reassess our life. Like, sometimes we feel like life's attacking us, and when we do, we have to sit back and look at the big picture. And it may not be something right away. It may be, if it's happening to you right now, you may not see the big picture. You may not see it until 6 months down the road, or what the connection is. But when you do, it's gonna all make sense. It's all gonna click, and you're like, why was I beating myself up for something? No reason at all. Like, no reason at all. So do that. And if that helps you guys, like, I don't know where I found that. It was in one of the books I read when I was going through hard things in life, and when things were really, like, attacking me, and I felt like the world was sitting on top of me. I had to do that, and I do it still to this day. We still have our moments where, you know, we feel like life's attacking us, or nothing good is coming out of every day. We have to reassess and see why we did it, like why things happen. There's a plan. No matter what your beliefs in life are, what you believe in, there's always a plan for everything. And that's my belief anyway. I believe it, and because I'm living proof that something good comes out of everything negative. Something good comes out of everything you don't want. And when you push your comfort zone, when you go outside that comfort zone and you really step out of it, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be scary, it's gonna be traumatizing sometimes. But guess what? When you step back, you're gonna realize, wow, that was the best feeling of my life. Like that, it's like riding a roller coaster. iffy on riding roller coasters, but it's the same thing as riding a roller coaster. You're like, it's scary as heck. You don't want to do it, but when you do, it's exhilarating. Like, it's exciting. It's. I mean, literally, when I found out I was going on stage, I think I lost 5 pounds. It was the scariest thing ever, and I was like, as long as I don't have to speak, we're good. You know, I can do this. So, it was still scary. Like, walking on stage in front of 25,000 people, I'm like, holy crap, am I gonna trip in these heels? Am I gonna bust my face? What am I gonna do? Like, is my hair gonna be standing up? Is my skirt gonna be pulled up and not realize it? I was scared. Like, all of those things came through my mind, and you know, it's just exhilarating on the other side. It's so exhilarating. And so I hope I helped somebody today, because I felt like I needed to share that. And I know I kind of rambled a little bit, and I apologize. I apologize if I don't make sense. I apologize if any of it, like, it goes over left field. But I wanted to share, and I wanted to. So I hope that helped anyone that was on today listening. And if it did, let me know, because or if you need to talk, like, always message me. I love talking to people, and I love helping in any way I can, because many people have helped me through my life and my struggles and everything. So I appreciate everyone's who's impacted my life and who still continues to impact my life. And so I like to try to pay it forward, and I try to help people too in any way that I can, even if it's just being there and listening to you. Thank you, Jen. I'm still not there, but I feel like I'm accomplishing something, especially when my children are following in my footsteps. And I love you, Mandy. I couldn't have done this without you. I know I gave you hell for 14 months. I almost blocked you. I didn't want to hear what you had to say about Thrive. But I'm forever grateful for you, and I greatly appreciate everyone along this journey, and everyone who, whether you believe in what I'm doing or not. I have so many friends who may not believe, sorry, I'm trying to get out of the sun's shadow, believe in what I say or what I'm doing, but you support me. You're still my friend, and you support me no matter what I choose to do. And I greatly appreciate all of you. So I love you all, and you guys have an amazing, amazing Saturday. It's already hot here. I don't even know what time it is. It's 9 o'clock, and as you can see, the sun is shining. I'll show you guys over here a little bit. You can see the mountains a little bit. It's a little cleared. There's a balloon over there. I'm surprised there's no hot air balloons today. There will be tomorrow, because they usually come on Sundays. So they're gonna be building right there, but we'll still have our view, which I love. And Chris cut the grass yesterday. Thank goodness, I needed it. So here's my view, and they're gonna have a park right there. So that open space right there is gonna be a park for the kids. Another one. We have several in the neighborhood. So, all right, everybody, have an amazing day, and I love you all. Bye, guys.
My name is Chris Watts. I'm doing my communication speech for Brenda Armentrout. And welcome to Broomfield, Colorado. About 70 degrees, and it's awesome outside, so welcome. I'm doing my speech on relationship deterioration and repair. Yeah, this is my PowerPoint. Deterioration. The relationship begins to fall apart, crumble, or fail. You have weakening bonds. You get bored of the everyday routine, and you get distractions such as work, hobbies, relationships, no matter how harmless, even at the job. You might meet a new person, and it could strengthen into something else. It could weaken the bond you have with the partner you have. You spend less time with each other, and sometimes you have no time to maintain the relationship. Sometimes in a relationship, you make promises that can turn into a major betrayal, or minor arguments that could turn into things where you can say spiteful comments, which turn into bigger problems. The first phase of deterioration is interpersonal dissatisfaction, which is when you become unhappy with all the everyday interactions with you and your partner. You also begin to view your future with your partner as a negative future. And the second phase is interpersonal deterioration, which you start to grow farther and farther apart. You share less of your free time with each other. You have more awkward silences at dinner, or when you're just out by yourself, you don't talk at all. You disclose less of your feelings, and you show less affection toward each other. When you have good communication, you show more nonverbal communication, which is the majority of the messages we send, like through gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, the tone of your voice. And there's many types of forms of communication these days, and it's the most successful groundwork for relationships. A few quotes that I've done research on from Elaine Schoenberg: all relationships problems stem from poor communication skills, which is very true. And another quote from Schoenberg and Sorjan: you can't communicate while you're checking your BlackBerry, watching TV, or flipping through sports section, which is very true. With technology nowadays, you'll be on your iPhone, your BlackBerry, at a restaurant, and you'll see two people at a table, and you'll see both of them on their phones, either Facebook comment, status, or maybe playing a game. There's no communication at all. Commitment is the degree of commitment affects your relationship. According to Hirofumi, not surprisingly, commitment is especially strong when individuals are satisfied with their relationship and grows weaker as individuals become less satisfied. You have to ask yourself 3 questions when you're in a relationship. Do I have a desire to keep this relationship going? Do I have a moral obligation to stay in this relationship? Or is it a necessity for me to stay in this relationship? According to my research, sometimes necessity could be children. Sometimes when you have children and your relationship starts to deteriorate, a child could help repair it. All relationships are held together in part by a form of commitment, either based on desire, obligation, or necessity. And when the commitment is strong enough to hold the relationship together, you avoid arguing about minor disagreements and you support one another. When commitment is weak, the relationship is full of doubt and the relationship deteriorates faster. You have 2 types of deterioration. You have sudden and you have gradual. Sudden would be an example of infidelity. When somebody is not faithful to the partners realize that the relationship cannot be sustained. Gradual would be if you met somebody at work or a new friendship has occurred, and as it goes on, you see that, okay, maybe this relationship has more potential than the relationship I have with my partner. And that would gradually push the old relationship out and push the new relationship in. Reasons relationships start to fall apart. Sometimes you no longer find your partner attractive, physically or in their personality. When you're in a relationship, you have to show desire, lust towards your partner. Sometimes when you get married, that the lust and the desire kind of falls by the wayside a little bit. But if you want your relationship to keep going, I would suggest maybe go to a place where you first met, or go bungee jumping, go somewhere that will bring the excitement back. You no longer experience closeness, or when your differences become more important than similarities. Just take apart your partner, and you don't see anything that you have in common anymore. You just see something he or she does, and it just gets on your nerves, and you just can't let that go. When you feel you might do better with someone else that you've met, you think that you can no longer that your partner is someone that you can't be with. When you feel you are putting more into the relationship than you are getting out. According to Bloomstein and Schwartz, when a relationship breaks up, it's generally the more attractive one that leaves, which I agree with somewhat and then I disagree with. When in repair, the stage is not always pursued. Sometimes people, when the relationship starts to dissolve, repair is not an option and they want to get away and start new. When you want to go into repair, you need to analyze what went wrong and consider what ways of solving the problems. You need to consider changing your behavior or perhaps changing your expectations for your partner. And you might also want to evaluate how you could feel in the relationship if it had ended. One of the first stages of repair you need to recognize, identify the problem. What changes you need to make to make the relationship better. Avoid words like always and never. If you say this to your partner, it just makes the relationship makes it backtrack. You'll never get to the repair stage. You need to take responsibility for your feelings. You need to blame your partner. And you need to be descriptive when discussing problems, discussing grievances. Resolution and conflict resolution. You need to look closely for relational messages that will help clarify motivations and needs. Exchange perspectives and see the situation as your partner does. You need to own your own feelings and thoughts. Use active listening techniques. Listen to your partner. Make sure they feel wanted. Make sure that they know that you're there and not in space somewhere thinking about the baseball game that's coming up or the football game that's coming up, which I sometimes do. Think clearly before saying things you may later forget. Don't just blurt out something. Just think about it. Don't just, if something comes to your mind, then it might be wrong. I do that too. And keep channels of communication open. Always disclose your feelings. Don't keep things bottled up because it will later come back to bite you. Possible solutions. Discuss solutions that both you and your partner win. Don't have a win-lose solution. The win-lose solution, sometimes when somebody loses, you'll have hostility and you'll have resentment. Sometimes they may not show it, but they will be thinking it. And to affirm each other. Support each other, positive evaluations, positive feelings. Always disclose your feelings, as I said. And cherish the gestures. It's a smile, a wink, a kiss, maybe just a hug, anything at all. Solutions into normal behavior. Say you're sorry. Sometimes it takes a lot to admit that just to say you're sorry, but it helps. Risk rejection by making the first move. Be willing to change, to adapt, to take a new task and responsibility. And in conclusion, I'd like to say that relationships are hard, but they're worth it in the end. And as the Swedish proverb says, a double joy is a shared joy, and a double sorrow is not a shared sorrow. Thank you.
In late June of 2018, Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger met outside of work for the first time. It was then that Nicole asked Chris more questions about the upcoming divorce. He told her the mutual divorce was almost final and they were working out the financial details.